Hello Aries, my fire family. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. I am here to do a reading for the week ahead. How are you doing, Aries? Got one deck here. I'm going to look at the overall sort of feel of what's coming up for the week ahead, and then we're going to throw some tarot at it, get you a few details through the tarot. Please remember this is general reading. It may not resonate with you. And thanks for showing up here, Aries. If you're the ride or die and you're here all the time, I appreciate you. And a thumbs up really does help. It helps grow this tribe. It always has. So I appreciate you so much for doing that. And at the end of this video here, Aries, I'm going to tell you about how to get to the extended and how to get a cut rate on a reading. So if you want to get in on a reading, private reading sale, I'll tell you about that. Thank you if you're brand new. If you're here brand new and you're just giving this a shot, I hope you'll stay. We do have a rather large Aries tribe here. Tell me what is going on with my fire family. I have a lot of Aries energy, by the way, and I think I've said that in another reading before. Tell me about Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I am a Taurus Aries cusp. In case you didn't know, tell me about Aries. It's coming up this week for Aries, or next week, sorry. So we have reevaluate your priorities, engage in higher reason, and forgive and forget. Look, I don't like this card. It's half right. I always say forgive, but tattoo it on the inside of your eyelids, man. Never forget, because that's what puts you into the cycle over and over again. If you don't recognize your patterns, Aries, if you forget and you don't recognize the pattern, you forget the pattern from the past, you're then destined to go into that pattern over and over until you finally see it. So yes, I believe that forgiveness is necessary because it's for you, Aries. It's not for them. It's to release you from an obligation of feeling bad about it anymore. It says here, make a plan. We've got make a plan. We've got ask with sincerity. What's next here? We've got say no. Oh, interesting. So I think that might come into under this reevaluating of your priorities and engaging in higher reason. And so let's take a look at that. Let's find out what's going on here for you, Aries. Let's get some tarot on it. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aries. What do we need to know? What do we need to know about Aries? Aries, I'm here a little bit late doing these readings here this week just because it's been beautiful outside. And look, I live in the center of Canada. It's about to get cold in about 60 days, and I'm not wasting any more of the sunshine sitting at this desk. So you guys are just getting readings a little bit later. I hope that's all right. All right, I hope you're going outside and enjoying the beautiful weather as well. Tell me about reevaluate your priorities, engage in reason, forgive and forget. And then we got a couple of cards. I'm putting these cards down for not next week, but this is going to be the week after next week. We'll look at that as well. We've got the Four of Cups for reevaluate your priorities. We've got the World card, engage in higher reason. Interesting. And then we've got the Hierophant, forgive and forget. Okay, forgive but don't forget, as I was saying. We've got the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this reevaluating of your priorities is what needs to happen in order for you to come out of some sort of comfort zone. And Aries, I feel like you're in some type of comfort zone of possibly cycles. It feels like you jump out of a cycle and you're like, whew, I got the hell out of that cycle. And then you jump in again. And then because you haven't changed your pattern, it goes back into the same cycle. So I feel like it's really important for you to acknowledge that you might be in a comfort zone in the Four of Cups here. And it might be an emotional comfort zone. Maybe you're just not ready to move outside the comfort zone, and it's okay if you're not. But it feels like somebody here keeps doing the same thing over and over, expecting to get a different result. And that's really the definition of insanity, right? But you keep doing the same things, but you keep getting the same result and wondering why. So we do have engage in higher reason as well. Got the World card here. And so I feel like you're now stopping something, closing something, changing a chapter, closing a chapter after a long period of maybe, following along the same patterns or the same cycle over and over. And I feel like you are now stopping it. You're stopping it and engaging in higher reason. Let's look at the Four of Cups first. Tell me about Aries and the Four of Cups. We have the Emperor. I like that, Aries. That's your energy. We've got the Hermit card, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So look, in the beginning of your week next week, a lot of change is happening here. there's something here on the precipice of some sort of really big change. You're about to change your actions, change your mind, change the way you feel about something. I'm talking about all the Emperor's, all of the King's energies. And the reason the Emperor is the Emperor is because the Emperor has mastered a lot of things, has a lot of wisdom. And so with the Wheel of Fortune being here and being destined change, time for expansion. And when we expand, everything changes. The Hermit is here. And so I feel like you've been hermiting in the Four of Cups. And maybe you've been thinking over, why do I keep getting the same result? How come I keep getting relationships that crash and burn? How come I'm never happy at the job? I'm there for 2 years and I change, and there for 2 years and I change. And I think it's because you keep, like, it's maybe the situation or the person that you're changing up, but you haven't changed. And so you treat the situation the same way you treated it back there. So I feel like this is what's going to break your pattern. And the Wheel of Fortune being here tells me that you're about to change your mind, change your effort, change your energy, and you're about to change your emotions. It feels like you've been in a comfort zone of treating every situation the same. And the universe is here with 3 major arcana cards. With the Emperor being here, I feel like the reason that you've been stuck is because these are all the fixed energies, right? Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, that's fixed energy. And I feel like you've been fixed about, I do things this way. I've always done it that way. My family's always done it that way. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, I'm doing it traditionally and I'm just not willing to change. Well, I think that the Wheel of Fortune disagrees with you. And if you keep trying to fight the Wheel of Fortune, things are going to end up in a tower. It's going to just end up being frustrating for you. It's time to reevaluate your priorities. And I think that's what the Wheel is trying to get you to do. Change your mind, change your energy, and get you out of hermit energy, because I feel like you keep blaming yourself or going in with the self-audit or the self-actualization and saying, well, these are the things that I want, and why am I not getting the things that I want? And I think it's because you've been sort of stuck in the same cycle. So change is here. Tell me about the World card, another major arcana. Look, when the majors show up, those things are showing up for you 100%. You don't have a choice over that. The only choice you have is how to react or respond. And I feel like next week is going to be a week of change for you. I feel like there's a chapter that's closing here after a very long time. Again, fixed energy, fixed energy. There's a long-standing situation or pattern that you've been doing, and now you're about to close the door on the old pattern so you can engage in higher reason. To me, this is the Hierophant energy. This is engaging with the higher self, engaging in higher reason. Tell me about the World card. This is an accomplishment or a milestone. Like, this is a great milestone that you'll be hitting in about the middle of the week next week. We've got the 6 of Wands, we've got the King of Cups, and we have the 10 of Wands. There we go. It feels like with the 10 of Wands here that you've decided, I don't want to feel under pressure or feel pressured to do the things that I don't want to do anymore. It feels like you're ready to drop some sort of cycle you've been in. Because look, we can go to the 10, but then we can drop the 10 and go back to the 1 and do the same thing all over again. Or we can do something different. So the 6 of Wands is telling me that you've been fighting to close a door or make a change, make a really deep change in your life. And I feel like that's coming in the week ahead. I feel like you're doing something completely different than you ever did, but it's going to be emotionally volatile. It feels like it's going to be you fighting against your emotions. Look, the King of Cups is here. And the King of Cups is the one that is sturdy in the storm. And I feel like you're going to be dealing with an emotional storm in the week ahead, because you are in a tug and pull with yourself between fire and water, between what I really want to do by reflex or what I usually do, but what I really need to do is engage with the emotional side of me and say, I can't engage in these wands anymore, in my fire energy. I've got to engage in my emotional energy. So I feel like it's emotional intelligence that's coming next week, or the realization that I need to make a different choice based on not jumping in or being quick or running at the finish line. I need to sort of pull it back, hold it in, figure it out, look through it, and then engage with higher reason. So the Hierophant energy, I feel, is because we're looking at that next. And look, we're going along the theme with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcanas in your reading here. This is crazy. So look, I feel like forgive and forget is bad advice. I feel like forgive, and like I said, tattoo on the inside of your eyelids so you don't forget what didn't work for you. Because look, forgiveness has never been for them. It never was. And it's always to release you from the situation. You can choose to just let them be who they are and not say it's okay that they were who they are or what they did. It's not okay that they did it. But the reason that you forgive is to let it go so you can let them be who they're going to be, and you can decide that you're going to release it as well. So you don't have to be tied to the angst or tied to the anger or the resentment. So I feel like forgiving, yes. Forgetting, nah, not so much. But I feel like the Hierophant here, I'm just going through all of that because I feel like the Hierophant is going to ask you to engage in higher reason. And so it feels like you need to let go of a pattern and engage in higher reason and forgive yourself for making the mistakes that you did back there. It's okay, because the only way that we learn is by making mistakes, right? And so we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant tells me that you are stepping into this, more solid, grounded, I feel like a forgive and forget sort of for me with the Hierophant means that you need to forgive yourself for just following traditionally the way I did, being stuck in the cycle, being stuck in the don't tell me what to do, because you don't tell Aries what to do. Don't tell me what to do, I'll do it when I'm ready. I feel like for some of you, you could have a Taurus placement, possibly, maybe you're a Taurus Aries cusp, but it feels like there's a little bit of energy of don't tell me what to do, which is in the Hierophant sense, in the Taurus sense, is a little bit stubborn energy. Don't tell me to change when I don't want to change. But in Aries, it's like, don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to run at that thing if I want to. So I feel like the forgive and the forget energy is you getting into your Hierophant energy and realizing that you can forget yourself, or you can forgive yourself, not forget yourself, but forgive yourself from being a little bit stubborn, being on the path that you aren't willing to change or were not willing to change until the Wheel of Fortune showed up here. Tell me about the Hierophant. We've got the Death card in reverse. There it is. You're reverse with the Death card because you're avoiding change. You're avoiding the transformation. The Seven of Swords is lying to myself. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So it does feel like the Death being in the reverse tells me that you're not willing to change, or you're like, don't tell me what to do. I'll change when I'm ready. And it feels like you've been avoiding some sort of truth. Because the Seven of Swords is here. You're avoiding some sort of truth. I think the truth is that what you're doing isn't working, and this isn't for all of you. So look, if this is not your part of the reading, or this is not resonating, it doesn't matter if it doesn't resonate. I don't really care if it doesn't resonate. I'm just saying that I'm talking to somebody who is really needing help getting past this barrier. And so that's the person that I'm speaking to. And so I feel like the barrier is that you don't want to change, but you're in the Seven of Swords energy where you're kind of lying to yourself that you don't need change. So I want to say that the Queen of Wands being here tells me you need to forgive yourself for making quick decisions that are independent and just doing the same thing over and over again, which means not taking feedback from anyone else around you. I'm not saying you need to always listen to your friends, but family, friends, people who observe things from the outside, you have to kind of take all of those things in, whether they are feedback or criticisms, and then realize whether they are for you or not. Look, I live on a platform where people are criticizing me all the time. And sometimes I take those things and I'm like, yeah, maybe I could change that. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, they're just blowing smoke. They're just doing it because they're projecting. And you're gonna be able to figure out which is which. So we've got the Five of Cups and we've got the Page of Pentacles here. So it feels like you go into this place of, crap, maybe I do need a better plan. Maybe I need to make a better plan. Maybe I need to ask the universe with sincerity, when should I say no? When should I say no to myself about making a quick decision that I feel bad about later? It says accept disappointment gracefully. So I feel like you're supposed to accept that we don't always, all of us make good decisions all of the time, and that's okay. It's the only way that we learn. That's the way we're here to learn. So I feel like with the Five of Cups, it's a little bit of regret. Can I try again? Yes, you can, because the Page of Pentacles is here. So the thing is we can always try again. It's always a new day. We can always make better choices, have new opportunities, right? Be a little more grounded, give a little more energy to something that we're not sure of. And we're not going to go full bore on it like the Queen of Wands would, but we're going to make little tiny, really solid changes in life in order to be able to get a different result, if that's what you want. I'm going to put down 3 cards here. We're going to go into the extended and we're going to talk about advice, but we're also going to clarify this a little bit more, because look, we have all of these all of these major arcanas that are here that are indicating a lot of change. So we're going to talk about what change is coming. How should you reevaluate? How do you know when you're engaging in higher reason? We're going to talk about that and what might be coming up, not next week, but the week after that as well. That's what these two cards are. Tell me about advice for Aries, please. Aries, if you want to go into the extended, please check the pinned comment at the top of the comments. It's under every video that I upload, and you will find there that there are links there for, first of all, Hypsee. If you're interested in a private read, then please take the link to Hypsee and take a look over my pricing. I do pre-recorded readings, but lately I've been offering sales on live readings. So as many questions as you can ask me in the time period you pick, between 5 and 75% off of those calls. It's really been a lot of fun getting to know you. I've been speaking to a lot of Aries, and so thank you so much for all those of you who have communicated with me over the phone. We've been having fun. So there's that. Also, if you want to see this extended, you can purchase this specific extended. The link is in that pinned comment, or you can go to the membership if you're looking at more than one extended. You can go into the membership area where I post weekly for all of the signs. And you can see all the extendeds there. So we look at advice. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. You need to slow down, it says here. Slow down, be a little more observant, do a little more of this reevaluating, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles is very careful. And so we have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Ace of Wands. So we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. And so I feel like you're supposed to engage in holding back a little more, because water is passive, fire is quick and jumping in really fast. So I feel like your challenge going into the week ahead is probably going to be finding your passive energy. We have the Ace of Wands, right? We have water and fire here, which is temperance. It's like you need to heal that. I feel that you need to move toward a goal. Once you find the goal, once you make the reassessment, engage in higher reason. And I feel like that's when the Ace of Wands is supposed to be here for your excitement, your pleasure, your creative spark, or whatever it is that the Ace of Wands is for you, the new cycle. But I feel like you need to move slower and engage in your emotions and look under the surface and reevaluate the situation and figure out your priorities and go a little slower. And that's the way you're going to break the cycle of running at things too quickly, making decisions too quickly, and then regretting them later. So bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. There it is. Waiting, reevaluating, working hard, but reevaluating and waiting for the right time, right? Going really slow. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about the advice. We're also going to talk about what's going to go on, not next week, but the week after. We're going to clarify all of this, find out what's changing. And if you want to be there, that's where we'll be. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. Thanks so much for being here, Aries. Bye-bye.